first things first, just to get started, we're just going to take that nice big good morning stretch. When we go big good morning stretch for today, no back bend, arms up, go like palms up, raise the roof, push your palms up towards the ceiling, stretch so you feel like stretch into your arms and your shoulders and up the lengthy tube of your waist, and then push down into your feet. Take an inhale and just push just a little harder. And then exhale, reduce that push, lean over to one side, take a light, gentle side bend. Come up through center, take it over to the other side, take a light and gentle side bend. Come back up nice and slow. Slow release of your arms, shrug your shoulders, just get a little bit of movement into that upper body. And then we're going to move right into cross crawl, opposite hand, opposite knee. Now, in our cross crawl today, I'm going to offer just a touch of challenge. But if you know that your balance is not so good some days, and if you know that you have a lot of stuff around you, so it might reduce safety, then you're going to not do the closed eyes. But if you feel good about your cross crawl, and you like that little bit of balance challenge, once you feel like you've got a nice rhythm going on, you're going to see if you can close your eyes and still maintain your cross crawl. Go for just a couple. You don't have to go for the full 30 seconds that we've got left, but see if you can just close your eyes for a moment or two and you tune into that proprioception. Where is your knee connected to your hand? Do you have good control of your balance, even with your eyes closed? No right or wrong, because some of our balance, just some days, it's just not there. 5 seconds left. Hi, Christine. Christine, if you have a theraband, a long stretchy band, that's what we're going to use today. And then for part 2, we have our foam roller. All right, so now we're going to take a second to just get little baby knee bends, little baby knee bends. Stay upright in your spine. It's not about the depth of your squat. We're just shooting to find a little bend. And then we're going to add on. So think, I want like light, bouncy, springy movement. Bend your knees, lift your heels. Bend your knees, lift your heels. Keep your spine nice and tall and upright. Don't tip your heart forward at all. If you have to tip your heart forward, that's too far for the bend for this particular move. Bend your knees, lift your heels. And we want that nice springy feeling. So it's not about crazy height with the calf raise. It's not about super depth on the bend. It's all about that feeling of that lively springiness. And then once you've got it going on, you're going to see if you can keep eyes on the horizon, gaze right in front of you. Get a nice little dynamic rhythm going on. Yep, watch that chest, because if your chest is coming forward as you go, I don't want that. I want this nice upright spine. Focus on that first. Bend knees, lift heels, bend knees, lift heels. Upright the whole entire time. Yes, 20 seconds left. Next up, just to tell you where we're heading, we're going to do our 50 jumps. Our 50 jumps are good for our lymphatic system, for our bone density. It revs up the engine, it gets everything going. We want 50, they're consecutive, we just keep it going. You got 2 seconds left, but if jumping doesn't feel good, just a bounce will do the trick. So bounce or take it into your jump, and I'll start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Nice job. All right, take a second, give everything a little shake, catch your breath. Now, we're going to go back to that bouncy, springy, but we're going to go just a little bit further to that squat. So now your chest can come forward a touch, but not too much. So we're going to squat down, come up, side leg lift, set it down, squat, side leg lift. You can hold onto a wall. I want a little bit of a bend, a little bit of a lift of that leg up to the side, but it's nice and dynamic. So we just did those jumps. Your heart's nice and revved up. Legs are nice and warm. Get a good dynamic pace. You've got it. Nice job. Nice work. 20 seconds left. I like to say this occasionally, just so we remember. We sometimes set the timer for 1 minute. That does not necessarily mean you have to do the full minute. Sometimes you work up to a point of fatigue. You take a moment, check in with yourself. You come back in if it feels good, or you rest for the period of time in between. All right, that's time. Now we're going into our heel drops. It's going to be 5 bone density heel drops, and then jog on the spot for a count of 5. When we do our bone density heel drops, we want impact in the body. You want to use your exhalation to support that impact. So you big pick up the heels, drop them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to feel that stimulation in your body. And then we do that bouncy recoil, jog on the spot for your count of 5, and then back to your heel drops. So it's your count. But when we do those heel drops, you want that ugly impact. You want to feel like, you can feel it in your breath as your heels hit the ground. And then you do a little jog to get that bounce and recoil. You've got it. You're already halfway there. Ten seconds left. All right, that's time. Nice big wide step. Step out nice and wide. Lunge to one side, lunge to the other. Start by just finding when you lunge and you bend that knee, your hips move. Start with the upright spine. Feel that little stretch coming into that inner thigh of that outstretched leg. And then we're going to go a little bit further. So then when you bend the knee, you're going to push your butt back, tip your chest forward, slow it down a little bit. Go for a little bit more depth. When you slow it down, think about as you're in that bent knee and your weight's shifted over to the side, push from the top of your thigh to come back up. Butt goes back. We hinge forward a little bit, push into the top of your thigh to come back into that return. Nice and slow and steady. Find that good quality mechanics of the work. Hinge forward, push your butt back, push down from your thigh to come back up to center. You've got it. Nice job. Beautiful. 10 seconds left. Next up, it's going to be standing work for the shoulder. We're going to grab our theraband. You'll put your theraband under your feet. If you've got a super duper long guy, it's easy and convenient to just kind of make a little U shape. You step your feet into the U, and then you hold one off a little bit so you can get work with the other. So for me, that means I'm kind of hugging this one out of the way, and then it's like you're pulling a sword. So you're going to reach to the side of your thigh, and you're opening up. And it's not about crazy height. It's about outer rotation. So you're going to tug on that band, pull out to the side, and we are going to be here 1 minute on one side, 1 minute on the other. Big shoulder rotator work. So if your shoulder gets a little mischievous, I want you to go nice and slow. Pull the sword. It's a big, long sword. So you got to pull out forward. The arm stays relatively straight. There's a little bit of a micro bend in the elbow, so it's not locked out. And then we don't thrust our hips. We keep a slight firmness in our legs, a slight firmness in our center. And it's not a torque and bend. So we're go straight arm, lift it all the way up, and let it come down nice and slow. You've got it. Because this is one of those tough ones and we're on there for the full minute. Some of us will need a break. You'll take a rest for a second. You'll do the little Elvis asana. You shake it out. You see if you can come back in. All right, that's time. We're switching sides. So take a second, readjust your band so you have a nice convenient hold. We want the band to stay solid underneath the foot. Think to the hip, pull the sword, up and out. So we keep a little micro bend. The arm is a little bit straight-ish. So it's not a shoulder rotator there. It's a big open shoulder rotator. We got 1 minute on the clock, slow and steady work. One side might behave completely different from the other. We still want some good, strong, solid legs. Nice, a little firmness in our belly. And I'm putting a bunch of resistance on the band, right? But you could make it softer by lightening up the load, by just putting more length into your band is going to give you a lighter resistance. Choke up on the band, it's going to give you a bigger, stronger resistance. 15 seconds left. Woo! And time. Okay, take a second. Release that band from underneath your feet. Shrug out those shoulders, get them all nice and happy again. And then we're just gonna abuse them one more time. So now you're gonna hold your band in a nice bit of tension. We're gonna go squat. Arms are gonna go up. Think arms are gonna go up so the band comes like slightly above your vision. So you're gonna go pull apart at the band, butt goes down and back. Arms come up. Chest and the chin stay in that lifted position. And then we do that slow return. And then we're following the breath for the rest. For this one, a light sense of tension just so you hold that tautness on the band. Squat down. Arms come up. Beautiful. Slow return. And then we follow the breath. Inhale as you go down into your squat. Exhale as you push into your feet. Slow return. Strength building, a little bit of breath coordination, and a little bit of tension so we feel nice and engaged in that upper back body and in our shoulders. Two seconds left. All right, now to tell you where we're heading next, this is going to be the one where it's a minute on one side, a minute on the other. It's work for our hip flexors. You'll work against a wall or a chair. I made it 1 minute on each side just so that we feel good about doing that work. And I'm going to try to position myself in all the different ways so you'll be able to see. So when we're up against the wall, we're going to be in a slight incline. You're going to put one foot into the loop of your band, and then you're going to pull as much tension onto that band as you can. And then you're going to hold on firm at the wall. You're in an incline, and then we do a knee lift. And I'm going to spin myself to my fake wall so you'll be able to see. So we're in this little incline, right? And we've got tension on the band. The knee comes up into flexion, and then we push the leg down and back. And then as we're going, what might happen is your knee might want to wobble a little bit, and you're going to see if you can keep it nice and steady, moving up and down. And you've got that slight incline. It does work your grip a little bit. Hold steady against the wall or the chair or your couch. Find your slight incline. And then you drive the knee. Knee comes up, push the knee down and back. Slow and steady work. And then we try not to let the knee wobble too much. And then once you've got a good feeling like you've got some good work going on, you want to attempt to gaze forward slightly versus looking down. So we're not putting too much flexion or too much of a cervical nod. So we want to keep the back of our body nicely engaged. Knee drives up, pushes down and back, slow, steady work. All right, that's time. Step your foot down nice and firm. Step your other foot into the loop. Release your starter foot, and then we're right back to work. Get that good strong grip. Knee comes up into that drive position, and then we push the pedal down and back. So we're in a slight incline. We keep our gaze forward. We get that hip flexion. So it's working strength building into our hip flexors. So think front pocket of the jeans muscles. Nice work. 5 seconds left. All right, that's time. Take a second, slow, careful release. And now we're going to do a nice, now we're going shoulder rotation with that little bit of elbow connection. So we're going to go into our W lift. If you've got the long band and you could go across the front of your abdomen, crisscross around the back, that's going to be a nice position because you'll feel that really close engagement. And then you get your nice lobster grip and you're going to go rotate out 45 degrees, push out, elbows return, and then we rotate back in nice and slow. I'm going to come just a little bit closer so you can see. So the elbows are chambered. We rotate out about 45 degrees. We push up and out. The elbows slow return, and then we rotate back in. So we rotate, push, come back in. And then if it doesn't feel good around your waist, then it's just a W lift with that front pull. So you rotate out, lift up, lower down, and return. Nice, slow, steady work. We've got 1 minute on the clock. For some of us, for this particular one, into that shoulder rotation maneuver, it can be fatiguing. So you want to go slow. So you're building good strength. You're not thrusting your hips to make those arms go up. So we keep sturdy in the bottom half of the body, working just through the shoulders and armpit chest best we can. Nice work. And especially on that lifted portion, hopefully you feel a little bit of work happening, like right in that front of your pec, your armpit chest area. So hopefully you're catching some good work going on there, or that's where you're feeling that fatigue show up. All right, take a second, give it all a good release. Roll out your shoulders. Now we're going to go into a nice deep sumo squat. So toes turned out just a little bit, nice sinking into your squat, theraband. And now we're pulling the bow and arrow. So we're going to do a little alternating sides. So it's a little thumb flip when we go. We go thumb forward, we pull back to the ear or the jaw, we loop the thumb through, and we switch. And we're going to stay in that nice low squat position. So get your legs nice and sturdy. If that little coordination move where you slip the thumb through to get that little hook, if that's not working for you, stay 30 seconds on one side, and then I'll tell you at the 30-second mark to switch. Now, if it feels like you're pulling with your rib cage, keep your rib cage facing forward, keep your chest facing forward, pull the arm and elbow back, thumb finds the ear or the jaw, and then we slow return. So we don't let the band snap us back into place. We pull back with good control and release with good control. You've got it. Nice job. All right, that's time. Take a second. Woo, release your shoulders. Come up and out of that squat. Give your legs a little shake. Give your shoulders a little shimmy shake. Keep your band down on the ground for a second. Now we're going to do our glute back and our arm pump. So this one is a little bit more about the glutes. It's more about the butt muscles, but the pumping of the arms strategically puts a little bit of work going on. And the more work you do, the more you got to squeeze your butt muscles. So start by sliding your right leg back so you're in slightly abducted. So it's not directly behind you, but a little off to the side. The leg is back, the toe is connected to the ground, but lightly, and then put a big squeeze in that butt muscle. It wants to feel as firm as it can possibly be. And then we pump the arms. The pumping of the arms creates movement, and it forces you to have to keep a good squeeze into your butt muscle. And then you keep a nice lifted chest, gaze forward, quick, steady pump of those arms. Keep that good squeeze on that butt muscle. You want to keep checking in with that butt muscle, the leg that's back. It should be gripping the whole time. Nice, quick, dynamic pump of the arms. Put that good challenge into your center. All right, take a second, release, switch sides. Other leg goes back. Find that slightly abducted position. Put a good squeeze in that butt muscle. And then once you feel like you're there, then start to pump your arms. Nice, fast and furious pump of the arms. It puts an aliveness into your fascia in the upper body. Fascia being that collagen stuff that makes us our human shape, holds us all together. Check that left glute, make sure it's nice and squeezed. All right, that's time. Take a second, release. We're coming down tabletop position. When we're down in tabletop position, it's going to be a little bit of opposite hand, opposite knee, and a slight lift and hover. And you will hopefully will feel it in like the side of your waist muscles, and it puts that really good challenge in. So come down onto all fours. And then wrists are just going to go slightly ahead of the shoulders for the comfort of your wrists. Some of us, it'll feel a little bit better to make your hands into fists here. So fists or wrists slightly ahead of the shoulders. You'll shoot for the one that feels pretty good. Now we're going to hover opposite hand, opposite knee. So you're going to lift your left hand and your right knee, and you're just going to try to hold steady there. You'll feel a little bit wobbly at first. You want your gaze down at the space between your thumbs or slightly ahead of your hands, but not looking at your knees. Slow, steady, comfortable breath. We just keep the left hand and the right knee in that lifted position. Feel the challenge coming from the right arm, shoulder, right knee, oblique muscles. We got 5 seconds left on this side. All right, take a second, set everything down, and then we're resetting to the other side. So whether it's wrist slightly ahead of the shoulder or hand in a fist, right hand, left knee are now going to lift into that hover position, and you're going to try to hold steady there. Gaze is slightly ahead of your hands. And you'll feel all these muscles kind of grip and catch. So for me, I can feel my hamstring muscles repeatedly trying to grip. I can feel my left side of my waist trying to repeatedly grip. There's a little bit of firmness that I keep having to lock into my center. You got 7 seconds left. Hold steady if you can. Nice, and time. All right, now we're coming crooked table with a little fire hydrant with the knee flexion. So go left elbow and forearm down, right arm's going to be a little bit straighter, right leg's going to do the work. It's going to lift up into fire hydrant, bend the knee, kick it out, bend to return, lower the knee, but it doesn't touch down, it just hovers. We've got 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other, slow and steady. So your table stays solid. You get that good abduction with the leg, a little flexion, nice core control. You got it. Five seconds left on this side. All right, take a second and we'll reset over to the other side. Now, right elbow and forearm are going to come down a little bit low. Left arm's a little bit straight, and the left leg does the work. We lift up into that fire hydrant. We bend the knee, kick it out to the side, and then we return nice and slow. We got 30 seconds of work, slow and steady. And time. Nicely done. All right, take a second to come back into your table position. And now we're going to go shoulder tap, knee lift. So you're going to go shoulder tap, pick up your knees, hover, float them down. Shoulder tap, pick up your knees and hover. And we want to go for a nice dynamic pace, especially on the shoulder tap. So it challenges our stability because we got one arm down, one arm in a lift, but we want to go a little bit quick so that we get that good dynamic pace. We put the challenge in, shoulder tap, knee lift. You've got it. "30 seconds left. Go as quick as you can for this one. It's nice and dynamic. To tell you where we're going to go next, we are going to attempt to find an abdominal vacuum in our tabletop position. Reminding everybody that finding that abdominal vacuum is hard work. It takes time. Sometimes it takes months. Sometimes it takes years. It's all about finding the right coordination of breath for your body. So if it doesn't fly up, don't worry about that. We focus on good posture, getting some good breath, and then we leave off the worries about the rest. All right, take a second. Find your tabletop position. Feet are going to curl under so that your toes are under and your feet are in that dorsiflex position. Spread your fingers nice and wide on your mat. Reach from your tailbone to the top of your head. You want to create this nice axial elongation. Imagine somebody's stretching you out from the center of your butt bone through the center of your head. And then once you feel like you've got a nice, sturdy table, think broad, wide, proud shoulders. You're going to push out into your elbows as if you're trying to create a suit of armor in the front and the back of your chest. So you expand it outward and you reach energy out through your arms, through your elbows, and then you imagine that your hands are trying to gently pull your yoga mat apart. So your upper body is nice and active and alive. We lengthen the spine. We've got this good axial elongation. We keep this aliveness in the body now. Take a nice big in-breath through your nose. Think 360 breath, fill your rib cage up. And then you want to try to maintain that expanded shape of your rib cage. And as you exhale, think soft belly, let your air go. Do it again when you're ready. Inhale, 360 breath, fill your rib cage up, pull that yoga mat apart. Exhale, axial elongation, lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of your head. All right, our last breath, we shoot for a vacuum. Don't worry if it doesn't fly up. Take a big 360 breath. Inhale, fill your rib cage up, pull your yoga mat apart. And then as you exhale, you slowly exhale, you prepare, swallow, close off nose, mouth, and throat, or pinch your nose closed, keep your mouth closed. Take a false inhalation. Don't let any air come in, but do an inhalation action so that the diaphragm suctions upward, and we hold breath for a moment. Take one more moment just to see what you can find. And then when you're ready, release your air. Take a second to flip yourself around, coming around onto our back. Grab your theraband. We're going to do a little double single leg hip bridge, but we're going to use our theraband if it's convenient. If it doesn't coordinate well, then you'll skip that part. Come down onto your back. Take your resistance band, loop it around your right foot, put a little tension on. We're going to do two single leg hip bridges here, but your bottom leg, the leg that's on the ground, you're going to dorsiflex that foot. So pull the toes and the balls of the foot up. As you exhale, you're going to push into that heel, push your foot up into the band, lift your butt, lower with nice slow control. Do it again. Exhale, push into your heel, lift your butt up, lower with good control, switch legs, left foot slips into the loop, right leg comes down in a dorsiflex position, heel hits the ground. Exhale, push into that heel, lift your hips up. Inhale, slow return. Exhale, push and lift. Inhale, slow return and switch. Right foot kicks up into the loop, left foot touches down, flex that foot, heel to the ground. Exhale, push into that left heel, lift your butt up. Inhale, return. Do it again. Exhale, push. Inhale, return, switch your legs, left leg into the loop, right leg down, flex the foot, heel connected. Exhale, push into that heel, lift your butt. Inhale, slow return. Beautiful. Do it again. Exhale, push. Inhale, slow return. We're going one more time through. Right foot kicks up into that loop. Left foot comes down. Dorsiflex that left foot. When you're ready, exhale, push into that left foot. Inhale, slow return. Do it again. Exhale, push up. Inhale, slow return. Switch legs. Left foot kicks into the loop. Right foot comes down. Flex that foot. Exhale, push into that right heel. Lift your butt up. Inhale, slow return. Last one. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, slow return. Keep your leg up in that loop. Kick your right foot up to meet. You're going to loosen up just a little bit so you get a touch of slack on that band so that there's space for your legs to push out. We're going to go into some nice big abductions. So now firm up your hold, anchor your elbows down, push your legs out into the band so that you feel like your inner thighs, outer thighs are getting a little touch of work. Hold at that end range. Hold for 1. Come back in nice and slow. Don't let the band snap you in. Work with the resistance. Push out again. Hold for 1, 2. Come back in nice and slow and controlled. A little bend in the knee goes a long way. Push out, hold for 3, 2, 1. The longer we hold, you might feel a little shake come into your legs. Come back in nice and slow. Push out again. Push out and hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back in nice and slow and controlled. Last one. Push out and hold. Longest hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow, controlled return. Bend your knees. Release that band from around your legs. Bring your right knee into your chest. Let your left leg go nice and long. Take one more breath. Because we're going to do a little twisting with our foam roller today, we'll leave the twist off for right now. Switch sides. Bring your left knee in. Let your right leg go nice and long. Hold there. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Knees to chest. Both knees come in. Hold there for just a moment. And then if your low back is feeling good, if this feels like a nice position, little micro rock from side to side. Now we're going to come up to a seated position with our legs out in front of us nice and long. So you might choose to roll off to one side. Some of us like to rock and roll up. You're going to come up in a way that makes good sense to your back and to your body. Come up so your legs go out in front of you, but put a nice, good quality bend in your knees. Walk your sits bones back just a little bit so it feels like you're kind of sitting a little in front of your butt bones. Take a nice big breath. We're going to inhale. Everything is going to lift. Lengthen the tube of your waist. Pull everything in that upward length. And then as you exhale, reach toward your toes. And it does not matter if you can touch your toes. All we're looking for is a light feeling of stretch in the low back and then a few slow, deep breaths. All right, when you're ready, we're going to come up to standing. We're going to take our theraband with. We're going to take a quick little stretch to the shoulders and that shoulder over fold. And then we're going to grab our foam roller and take it back down to the ground. So come up to standing, put your foam roller behind you, and you want a comfortable space so it feels like your arms kind of can move freely in that back position. Once you feel like you've got a good comfortable space and the band's stretchy, so it should sort of work with you. Put a good bend in your knees, fold over your legs, and as you fold over, let your arms fall away from your back. And then you let them stretch out as wide as you want to. So you're just going to work with that band so it holds you in a position. The arms fall away, but they're comfortable. And then you want to just take a second to see if you can take a few slow, deep breaths. Hands are going to float towards the low back. Bend your knees a lot. Push strong into your feet. Come up slowly, 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 slowly. And then just take a couple of good shrug and rolls of your shoulders because, oh my goodness, you guys work those shoulders so hard. All right, put your band off to the side. Grab your foam roller if you're sticking around. And we are going to start with a little upper back work and then a little twisting and rotation work. And we'll get the armpit chest area. So a little bit of upper body work that'll repeat itself. And then we're going to take it down to our legs. So put that foam roller behind your back body. Think bra line, low end of the rib cage. And then once you're there, light little pickup of your butt and a slow, soft roll up towards the tops of the shoulders, down towards the end of the rib cage. When we do our foam roller on our back, typically speaking, we stay in the stronger bony structures because it's got that nice, good structural support. So we don't tend to, sometimes we do, but we do it carefully. We don't tend to go into that low back where there's just the spine and not the rib cage or the hip bones. So we go up and down nice and slow. And this is one of those places where I always say, you got to get your ponytail out the way because otherwise it starts to steamroll your hair. Go for 1 or 2 more good rolls up and down. And then you're going to come up into a light little seat and think zigzag seats. You're going to get a little, for my yoga friends, 1 leg in front, 1 leg off to the side. But now we're going to rotate. So think about the leg that's in front of you. You're going to rotate to the foam roller and you're going to adjust. So it's because for this one, it's not going to be about the seat. The seat gets us there. And then we're going to go a little bit further. So you're going to see, can you get into a little bit of rotation? And then you're going to walk the roller so it comes underneath the upper part of the chest, line up with your armpits. So you're going to see if you can come a little bit lower. And then I'm going to try not to mess with my microphone too much. All right, so you're going to see if you can come a little bit lower, and that's where you'll adjust your legs, because for some of us, it'll just feel a little bit more comfortable to kind of scooch the hips and scooch the legs around in a way that makes good sense. Once you've got your chest and your armpits nice and heavy on the roller, if your chin, see those foam rollers have a little bit of grip to them, right? So you're going to see if you can just get your chin right underneath your chin to rest on the grippy texture of the foam roller. And if you can get your chin to rest, you're just going to, like you're trying to scratch your chin, you're going to do small, gentle glides across. Nothing that injures yourself, but something that feels like it just kind of lightly grips and stimulates right underneath the chin. That chin and jawline area can just be such an interesting place because we can get lymphatic fluid that kind of pools up underneath and it makes us look a little puffy sometimes. And the skin and the fascia all around there, there's like the vagus nerve that runs down from the base of the skull, wanders around the front of the neck and the throat, the heart, the lungs, down to the belly, down to the pelvic floor. So there's a lot going on in this area. So we have a lot of ways that we can play. Take 1 more moment to see if you can just get that little scrape of your chin. And then come up just enough so that you can reposition, go into that muscle at the back of the armpit. So you'll unwind your twist just a little bit, and then you'll see if you can find a little bit of a push forward and back, like you're just working, and you adjust your legs so it feels comfortable. You don't have to stay in that deer seat if it doesn't feel good. And you just want to kind of roll and rock across that muscle at the back of the armpit, get a little bit of movement. And then for me, I am going to slip my legs down a little bit. And now you're going to come down a little bit lower. So you're in that broad bra strap area. So side of the rib cage, think where the broadest part of your bra strap is, find that spot and then come back into that tipping forward and back. Nice. Take 1 more tip forward and back, and then we're flipping it around to work to the other side. I'm going to spin myself around so I'm facing out to you. You flip yourself around in a way that makes good sense. We got the foam roller off to the side, and then we set our legs up into that zigzag seat position. And then once you've got your zigzag seat, then you see if you can take a little bit of a twist, and then you adjust your legs as you go so it feels comfortable to you. Everybody's hips and spine will work a little different here. So now we want to attempt to find that lower position where the foam roller comes across your armpits, front of the chest. And then you adjust your legs so it feels comfortable enough for you. If you can get your chin to land on the foam roller, you come back to that little bit of chin work where you just slide your chin gently across the foam roller. You let that texture of the foam roller kind of grip the skin and connective tissue and give it that feeling of warmth and aliveness. Think increased blood flow, but we're not getting like deep muscle tissue. We're not trying to like massage into the muscles. We're just stimulating the top surface. One more chin drag if it feels good. And then when you're ready, come up just enough so that you can unwind just a touch, get that muscle at the back of the armpit onto the foam roller, and then we rock a little bit forward and back. One more little rock forward and back, and then lift up just enough, move it on down so it comes into that broad side of the rib cage, and then adjust your legs so that they feel pretty good, and then come back to that tipping forward and back. On some of our bodies, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you may find that there are places where you notice that there are clear signs of held bound fascia. Like for me, I've been wearing a bra on these big girls for like what, 1,000 bajillion years. So I can literally see in my shape and my form, there's a little concave that comes in where my bra strap has landed across my side for thousands of years. So just know that there are places where you might have fascial adhesions that just might want that little extra bit of time to kind of smooth out. Think about that silly putty idea, where we don't come in with a big bang of force on silly putty. We smush, smush, and we get it warm and we get it moving and we get it glossing and gliding, and then it manipulates a lot better. So think about your fascia kind of like silly putty, where you just want to give it a little bit of time. All right, take one more moment just to find that little forward and back rock, and then we're going back to that upper back body. I'm flipping myself around. You work yourself around in a way that makes good sense. We're coming right back to that low end of the rib cage, up to the shoulders, slower motion than even before. So now you've gummed up the sides a little bit. Now find that position on back body, pick up and slow your roll down. Go as slow as you can, where your mind and body feels comfortable about the slowness. Clear your ponytail, hold your head up if that feels like a better way to go, so you're not stressing out your neck too much. We're going to do a little bit of something for the cervical muscles. So when we do that thing underneath our back of our neck, I want to say that you'll go really nice and slow. You'll look for that feeling of drag, but it's going to be like really slow and purposeful and intentional. And if you're like, I can't find it, then I'd rather you stay steady and just do little micro movements versus trying to like drag up the back of your neck. All right, so you're going to take one or two more good slow rolls, and then we're going to get that soft curve of our neck to slowly and gently rest against the foam roller, like you've got that low pillow underneath the soft curve of the neck. So here's that one of those places where we don't have a lot of bony structure to help support, so we go gently and slowly. So you're going to think about your foam roller like you're tuning a dial. So you're going to slowly turn it up. So you're going to use your hands to manipulate, and you're going to gently push the foam roller so that it feels like it grabs your skin and the connective tissue on that soft curve of the neck. And you're going to slow, 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 like 1 mile an hour, slow as you can go. And you want to feel like it just kind of gently tugs the skin. It creates a little bit of warmth, and you're turning the foam roller up as slow as you can. And what we're looking for is to eventually land so that the foam roller is underneath that occipital ridge, that nice bony structure of the skull. But we drag, drag, drag. It's a super duper duper slow motion. Take your time, turn that foam roller slowly, slowly, slowly. And then eventually you'll find that occipital ridge. And then once you found that occipital ridge, let your hands rest and turn your head gently from side to side. One more gentle turn from side to side. And then you're going to do a little cervical nod. You're just going to pick your head up away from that roller. Move the roller out from underneath you. See if you can leave your head in that cervical nod. Slip the foam roller underneath the bend of your knees. And then once you've got the foam roller underneath the bend of your knees, slowly peel your head back down to the ground. You're going to lift your hips up and you're going to roll that foam roller so it comes underneath your butt. Now we want it underneath that broad base of support underneath those strong hip bones. Once you've got your way there, slide your right leg nice and long, flex your foot. We're going to do a leg lift to knee height and a slow lowering down. So you're going to lift the leg up to about the other left knee's height, and then you slowly 4, 3, 2, 1, kick it back up. Slow lower, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more just like that. Kick it up. Slow lower, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't let the heel touch the ground. Turn the toe and the knee in. Hold that turned in position. Bring it back up to knee height. And now we're going to move at a smoother pace. So up and down at that like moderately the same pace. Go up for 1, go down for 1. So find that little bit of a pace, but keep your toe and your knee turned in. And you're going for about 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Slide that leg in. Switch sides. Left leg is going to go out nice and long. Flex your foot. Put the leg up to about knee height. Lower it slow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick it back up. Lower slow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick it up. Lower slow. 4, 3, 2. Don't let the heel touch the ground. Hold in a little hover. Turn the toe and the knee in. Hold that turned in position. And now we go up and down at that moderate pace, up to the knee, lower down, up to the knee, lower down for 3, 2, last 1. Let the heel touch down, toe and the knee return up towards the ceiling, slide that leg in, supported hip bridge, reduce effort. Let your arms come out at your sides, let your tops of your thighs soften for a second, let your abdominal muscles soften for a second. Take 3 nice deep breaths. Hold on to the ends of the roller if it makes you feel a little bit more secure. Think Apanasana, knees to chest. You're going to pick your knees up towards your chest. Keep your knees and your toes a little bit together and take your knees and draw them in about 3 circles going in one direction. Go for about 3 circles the other way. Come back to center, reposition the legs, butterfly position. So soles of the feet together, big toes together, and then knees are out to the left and to the right. Now take your butterfly and draw it in about 3 circles in one direction. And then take your butterfly, go about 3 circles the other way. Excellent. And then set your feet down, lift your hips up, move the foam roller so it comes underneath the backs of your thighs. And now we're going to do the drag. So we let our legs get nice and heavy on the foam roller. Think your hamstring muscles are now slightly compressed. And now we're going to use the weight of our legs, and you drag your legs out to a wide position, and you drag your legs back in, and you want to feel like the foam roller kind of pulls against your skin. It drags those muscles, so it gives them a little smush out to the side and a little smush as you come back in. And you're going to go for 3 more nice big drags. And then once you've done those 3 nice big drags, as your legs come back to center, let your legs bend just a little bit so your heels are connected to the ground. Pull your right knee up towards your chest, basket weave around the back of your thigh. Kick your foot up towards the sky just a touch. Push your thigh into your hands, and your hands are sturdy. They're going to create this nice resistance in this frame. Hold steady, push your heel like you're trying to drive your heel down towards the ground, but your arms aren't going to let you. Hold for 3, 2, 1, soften, float that leg down to the foam roller, switch sides, bring your left knee up, basket weave around the back of the thigh, kick your foot up towards the sky just enough. You want to still keep a bend in the knee, hold steady, Push the back of your thigh into your hand, like you're driving your heel down towards the ground, but your arms are holding steady. Hold that nice steady push for 3, 2, 1. Soften, slow release that leg back down to the ground. Use your arms, use your elbows, use your thighs. Push into the ground, come up into a seated position. Backs of the knee pits against the foam roller, and we smish. So we just get the knee pits to rest against the roller. We've got some lymph nodes and channels behind the pits of the knees, so we're just giving them a little aliveness, a little smush, 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 smush. And then while we're putting a little aliveness into the pits of the knees, now we'll take our locomotion hands. So heels of the hands find the inside of the knee, the outside of the knee, and then we do the little chugga chugga choo choo. So you smush with the heels of your hands into the muscles around the knee. Just feel like you want to create a little bit of increased blood flow, a little bit of nice gummy warmth, and then take your locomotion, go in reverse, go the other way. And then once that knee feels just a little bit warmer, take a second release, switch over to the other knee. Heels of the hands to those muscles along the inside of the knees, and we push and we just give a little chugga chugga choo choo. And then if that's feeling good, take it in reverse, chugga chugga choo choo the other way. Awesome. One more little chugga chugga choo choo. And then we're going to take a nice big breath. Walk your butt bones back just a touch. Think heart up, forward, and reach toward your toes. Again, it doesn't matter if you can touch your toes. All you want to feel like is there's a little stretch into the low back. Take a nice big breath. One more breath. Come up and out of that fold, and then we're going to kind of tip off to one side. And then how you position your legs for this one is again going to be what feels convenient and easy. So you're going to get so that the inside of your shin bone is resting on the foam roller, and then you're just going to, but you're going to do a little push down as you roll the foam roller up towards the inside of the knee. We're staying in that lower part of the limb, but we put a little bit of effort. So you push down and you want to feel like it kind of just smushes upward as you push out. Go for about 3 more, push down and out. And then once you've done about 3 more, think about where like the thickest part of your calf muscle is on the inside, and then just rest against that thickest part and do a little internal or external rotation. So you're just rolling the knee out or rolling the knee up towards the ceiling and then rolling it back in, and think like a little bit lively, a little bit dynamic, as if you're just trying to put a little bit increased blood flow, touch base with the surface, get it feeling a little bit warm. And once that's feeling good, I'm flipping myself around so I'm facing out to you. You'll flip yourself around in a way that makes good sense. Get into that other leg, inside of the shin bone, low limb, and then we push down and out so that you can coordinate by bending the knee to get that push down and push out, or you can kind of, I'm pushing a little bit with both. I'm pushing into my shoulder and I'm adding that little increased knee bend. So get there in a way that makes good sense to you. If you have a tendency towards like shin splints or any of those types of things, this might feel a little bit intense. So ease up on the pressure if it's like too intense and you're kind of gritting your teeth. All right, now you're going to see if you can find like that thickest part of the calf muscle on the inside and then add that external rotation. So we just roll the leg up like you're just pointing your toe and your knee up towards the ceiling and then roll it back in. Nice. One more good roll there. Now we're going to go meaty part of the calf muscles onto the foam roller, and then how you go about what kind of effort of work you want is going to be like what feels good to you right now. So you're going to start by just putting the thickest part of your calf muscles onto the roller, lean back and just make sure that feels good. Now for some of us, just a little rocking side to side is going to feel really nice, and then for some of us a little pick up and roll is going to feel really good. So think about how your calf muscles are feeling today, and if your shoulders feel good and your wrists feel good about the work, you can pick up and roll, or you could do the little foam roller walk. I want you to think about like what will just feel really good to you right now. Maybe a little of everything, maybe a little rock side to side, maybe a little walk up and down. and then maybe a little pick up and roll. The pick up and roll can, for some of our calf muscles, be a little bit intense. So you just want to make sure it feels nice, and you go nice and slow, and you invite that idea of that gumminess into the silly putty. Slow work, soft muscles, good, slow, steady breath. Beautiful. One more good roll up and down. Now you're going to see if you can get your feet into a butterfly position with the sides of your feet resting against the roller. And then you're going to use your thumbs. You're going to locate, there's along the inside of your foot, you'll feel a bony prominence that goes from the big toe down to the calcaneus, down to your heel bone. Right along the edge of that bone, right underneath the edge of that bone, you're going to push your thumb. You're going to walk up and down that little ridge of the bone. So you're in the muscle tissue, and you're going to push, 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 push. And then you're going to find a spot that feels maybe more interesting, or a spot that feels a little tighter than the rest. And you're going to hold steady and push into that spot with your thumbs. And then you're going to wiggle your toes up and down. And then if that feels good, maybe find a new spot, maybe a little higher, a little bit lower, push your thumbs and wiggle your toes. Sweet. One more wiggle of the toes. Now we're spinning around. So we come forward fold and then steamroll the tops of the feet and then hit the bottoms of the feet. So come around in a way that makes good sense. Spin yourself around so that you can get a soft standing forward fold. Foam rollers in front of you, and we push into that foam roller and we just steamroll up towards the ankles and then steamroll down towards the toes. If you have a tightness in the backs of your legs, I say bend your knees more than you think you need to, so that you're not stressing out that hamstring insertion into your butt. We don't want to feel anything in our butt right now. All right, one more good steamroll to the tops of the feet, and then leave that foam roller on the ground. Bend your knees, come up nice and slow and controlled. Put one foot onto the roller, give it a slight soft roll forward and back. Take it into the instep, so turn your knee in just a touch. Take it to the blade edge of the foot, turn the leg out just a touch. And then come back to middle of the foot, and then we do the bug squish and pivot. And you just want to feel like it creates a nice generation of warmth into the bottom of your foot. So we have this nice strap of fascia that runs down the bottom of the foot from the heel up to the ball toe mound and then up into the toes. So we just want to wake it up, get it alive, get it feeling nice and warm. Take one more pivot of that foot, and then we're going to switch sides. Other foot on, slow, soft roll. Turn the knee in just a little bit at the instep. Turn the knee out a little bit, get the blade edge of your foot. Blade edge of the foot is a proprioceptor, so that's going to help us with our good coordination of balance and our good landing of footfall on the ground. Take one more moment to wake up that blade edge of the foot, and then come back to the center of the foot, and we do the bug squish and pivot. I'm like, yeah, nice. It feels good. All right, take one more pivot of that foot and then set it down. Put your feet about hip width distance apart. Take a nice big breath. Stretch your arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, bend your knees a lot more than you think you need to. Fold down towards your feet. Hang there just for a moment, just to feel. Notice how the backs of your legs feel. Notice how your upper back body feels. And then walk yourself up nice and slow. Walk your hands up your shins, up your thighs. Come up nice and slow. Take your time, and then give it a good little lymphatic bounce. Give everything a little shake and a wiggle. Make sure it all feels good. You guys are amazing. Happy Friday.